So I was supposed to shoot a video for today, but unfortunately, the guy who films the videos couldn't film with me today, and weird stuff. So I thought, why not just talk to my subscribers, all 1,300 of you. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite book, and it is called Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. Yep. In this book, the author Napoleon Hill has a conversation with the devil himself, and the devil reveals his secrets to keeping human beings confined in the fear of their own abilities, or the fear of stepping out of their comfort zone. His conversation with the devil is just the devil explaining how he grabs onto human beings and how he really just grabs a hold of them. Now, my mom got me this book when I was a senior in high school. Let me not say senior high school. My mom got me this book when I was in upper sixth, because I used to do boarding school in Cameroon, and that's how we call senior. That's how we call like 12th grade. We call it upper sixth. My mom got me this book when I was in upper sixth, and I've read it religiously every year. And when I say religiously, I mean 3 months cannot pass without me reading this book. I read this book every month. I have to read this book. It's pretty worn out, as you can see. And you're probably wondering, what's so good about the book? Okay, a guy interviews the devil. Did he even really interview the devil? I'm gonna answer both those questions. But the question, did he really interview the devil? It doesn't really matter to me, because the things I learned from his interview with the devil, you really opened my consciousness to things that I've been doing in life wrong, and how I can stop procrastinating, and how I can be a better person, and how I can be a better YouTuber, as a matter of fact. And another thing I wanted to talk about, why this book is really great, in my opinion, is because he talks about 3 things that no one really talks about. Right? The first thing is definiteness of purpose. The second thing is hypnotic rhythm, and the third thing is time. And I want to talk about these 3 things a little bit. So when it comes to definiteness of purpose, right? He basically says that, well, this is the devil saying these things to him, the human being. He says that for a human being to be successful, he has to be definite in all of his endeavors. And I really resonated with this book, because my life up to the age of 18, I've just been really indefinite. I was just doing things I was supposed to do. When I feel like I was kind of born again. I don't want to say born again, because that's a touchy subject. But I was kind of born again when I started doing YouTube, because I really like doing YouTube. So I came up with a definite aim that I'm going to be a really great YouTuber. That's my aim. Now, another thing he talks about is hypnotic rhythm. Something I've never heard about in my life, but you see, the same reason why we get addicted to things is the same reason why we get good at things, all right? So let's take a guy, his name is John, right? And let's take another guy, his name is Tom. There's John and there's Tom. Tom and John are brothers. Okay. Now, John spends most of his time drinking, and he cultivates this habit, and eventually, through the passage of time, he becomes an alcoholic. Now, Tom, on the other hand, he spends most of his time developing a skill. Let's say day trading. He day trades 8 hours a day. He's just studying the market, and he's doing all these trades, and he's getting better and better and better. Now, through the passage of time, John is going to become an alcoholic, and Tom is going to become a really rich man, because he used time to his advantage. And I never really, that's just my analogy, by the way. This is not in the book. That's just my analogy. So the hypnotic rhythm is basically doing something over and over and over and over until it becomes wired in your brain, by the neurons in your brain, just by doing it constantly, whether you want to do it or whether you don't want to do it, just by doing it. It goes a long way, And I started to realize that I'm not really good at anything. I can do I can do good in school. I can do good in sports. I can do. I could do good in anything else, but I'm not really a master of anything. And this book really wanted me to. This book makes me want to become a master at something. So, before I continue, I'm just gonna say I'm really poor at talking without being. I'm not gonna edit this video, okay? I'm really working on my camera skills. But like I said, I'm really working on becoming great at something. So, hypnotic rhythm, when he mentioned that in the book, I was like, wow, this is an interesting topic. And the third thing he mentioned was time. That time is the greatest asset to man. He mentions that life is shorter than we think. I'm currently 20 years old and I feel pretty old, but I know sometimes we look too far into the future and we stop like thinking like, hey, if I really lock in the present and grow as a person or grow as whoever I'm trying to be, I could do really good. However, he mentions time and he says that time is the greatest asset available to man. And I used to read that. I read this book over 10 times. And I could say that confidently. No one on earth has read this book more than me. I've read this book more than 10 times. And he mentions that time is the greatest asset available to man. And I used to be like, shut up. Like, it's obviously money. The more I read it, the more I understood. Because I would hate to be a 90-year-old man with $1 billion net worth. Like, what am I going to do? I'm pretty young. I'm pretty jacked up. And I feel like life is going great for me now. And I really just have to respect the fact that I have a lot of time on my hands. But at the same time, I don't have a lot of time on my hands. So these days, I've been budgeting my time a lot wiser. Just because I've read this book. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video so I can regather my thoughts. Okay. So every book has a spine. Every book has a theme. Every movie has a theme. Okay, a spine, as I would call it. So the spine of this book is that every failure brings with it a seed of equivalent advantage. Now, you might be wondering, snacks, what does that even mean? I've never heard that much literature. I've never heard that type of vocabulary, and I'm gonna break it down for you since you can't comprehend the words that are coming out of my mouth. Napoleon Hill says that failure in and of itself is more of a blessing than it is a curse, When we fail repeatedly and we keep failing and failing and failing and failing, it teaches us what not to do, and that's really important. If you go to the basketball court and you keep shooting the ball and you keep missing, right? And you keep missing and you're like, God damn it, I hate this sport. Why am I even doing this? Right? If you go with that mindset, you're already failed. But if you keep missing and you're like, oh, I should stop shooting like this. Let me try shooting like this. That's where it comes in. And like I said, I never really understood these things until I read it myself, So I've wasted the first 18 years of my life. I'm currently 20 years old. I really began to capture myself when I started making YouTube videos, and I'm really passionate about making good YouTube videos. You can see from my last video that I've been doing a pretty good job. But yeah, the main theme is that fail as much as possible. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I had a basketball game and I performed terribly. So bad, I performed terribly. And I've been working on my basketball skills for a while now. And I went to the dorm, I went to this place and I was like, why the hell am I even still playing basketball when I'm this trash? And all I had to do was go to the library and talk to God and read this book. And it sparked my zeal to go to still play basketball, regardless of me losing or how I do. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the best book I've ever read in my life, and I'm gonna read it till I'm dead. Like, I'm really just gonna read this book to the day I die. And I really do encourage everyone to read this book. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Like I said before, my storage got full. I encourage everyone to pick up this book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I'm going to leave the link in the description. No one is paying me to say this or anything. This is just how I feel, you know? And for the fact that I didn't have a video to post today, I said, hey, let me not let this time go to waste. Let me work on my communication skills in front of the camera. Let me try and work on having more uploads. And yeah, this video might not get that many views, but it's gonna be one of my favorite videos because it's a really personal thing to me. And I want you guys to know that, let me fix that real quick. I want you guys to see that I really love you guys as subscribers, because no one on earth knows about this book. I don't tell anyone about it. I'm really close to my sister. I don't know why I haven't told her about it. I'm really close to my dad. I don't know why I haven't told him about it. I'm really close to my mom, my aunties. I don't know why I haven't told them about this book. But you guys are the first to see it. This is Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. I am not ending this video now. It touches, the book touches a lot of other aspects of individualism that I don't want to get into right now because it's kind of controversial. However, if you watch this video up to this point, I just want to encourage you to be definite in all your definite. And when I say definite, I mean that you want to clearly define what you want to do. And I surely have. This is my journal. I write everything here, and I've clearly written down what my idea of YouTube success is right here. You're not gonna see it. You can screenshot it or free share it as much as you want. You can't read my handwriting. But I've clearly defined what success means to me. And I think it's really important that as human beings, we know exactly what we want in life, in our relationships, in our religion, from our kids. Let's say it's January 31st, right? And you say, this new year, I want to make more money than last year. That's a very indefinite goal. And this book makes me realize that instead of saying that I want to make more money than last year, you should say that I want to make $20,000 more. You should have a definite aim. And not just a definite aim, you should have goals. You should have a plan by which those aims should be attained. You know, so I hate to leave you guys like this, but I would hate to just rant for hours. This is actually me just saying that I love you guys, and yeah, peace.